Today, we're going to be chatting with NBA legend Spud Webb. Known for winning the 1986 dunk contest, Webb played 12 seasons in the NBA with the Hawks, Kings, T-Wolves, and Magic. Welcome, Spud. How are you doing today?
Oh, good. Thanks for having me, man. Just, another slow Monday around the NBA.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm doing well as well. Excited to sit down and talk some basketball with you today. Wanted to get started with probably the biggest story of the weekend. Kyrie Irving was traded to the Dallas Mavericks on Sunday. What does Irving bring to the Mavs?
Well, we always looking here for, I guess we can say, a second man to help Luke out and bring some of the pressure off, and that's what Kyrie hopefully can bring to the Mavericks and to help Luka be more fresh at the end of games. So that's one way I look at it, and he's on a winning team. Not saying Brooklyn wasn't a winning team, but this team went to the Western Conference Finals last year. Brunson gone to New York, but I just make them I don't know how I don't make them a better team.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, like you said, he brings something from a shot creation standpoint, something that maybe you guys were missing by letting Brunson go. Is the pairing of Doncic and Irving enough for Dallas to make the NBA Finals?
That's another question that had to be answered. You got to rid of some good pieces. Then with it kind of hurt getting rid of him, but hopefully it's got a couple more days for trade deadline, so maybe you can go out and get somebody that good wing player that can guard the wings and play defense and score baskets. So if they think that player out there, I think the Mavericks go and get him.
Yeah, like you said, it might not be the end of the wheeling and dealing from Mark Cuban, and losing Dorian Finney-Smith as well was probably a blow to the Mavericks defense. Over the last few years, both Harden and Irving have requested trades out of Brooklyn. From the outside looking in, is that more of a reflection on how players feel about playing with Kevin Durant, or is that a potential sign that there's something going on in the franchise?
I don't watch them that close to know what's going on that deep into that team. You was hoping that those guys would work out because that was a great combination. They had all three of those guys. So
yeah, I think a lot of people kind of shoot them in for a title or two at the time, but now they've disbanded. The NBA trade deadline is tomorrow. What other teams do you think need to make a move to improve their title chances?
Everybody talk about the Lakers need to do this and that. So that's one of the teams. I'm pretty sure Atlanta, always talking about getting better. So, if they're if these teams gonna compete, they're gonna. Who knows where they're gonna go? The NBA. Every time I pick something, it goes the opposite way. So.
Yeah, absolutely. People are talking a lot about what the Lakers can do to help LeBron out there. Maybe a lot of people thought Irving was going there, but not quite. I did want to talk about one of your former teams, the Hawks. You were drafted by the Hawks in the 4th round in 1985. Now they're, trying to get back into the playoffs. Can Trae Young and DeJounte Murray coexist together in Atlanta?
I think they have been. I just can't figure out what piece they need because they got rebound and they got defense. Murray coming there, I'm pretty sure they were happy to have him. So they always just throwing Collins' name around to get traded. So I don't know. I thought they played well last year. Nate, great coach. And so hopefully, they work out.
Yeah, they're currently clinging to the number 8 seed right now. Do you think the Hawks can make it to the play-in tournament?
You never know. The East is kind of tough, where the West is too, but winning games in the NBA is tough. But yeah, you have to let it play out. I couldn't say if they make the play-in game or not. They're definitely a playoff team.
Yeah, I think talent-wise, like you said, they're definitely a playoff team. We'll see what they do here in the next few days if they're going to decide to, be buyers or sellers at the deadline. Atlanta's expected to be one of the busiest teams at the trade deadline. How should the front office construct the roster around Trae Young?
I mean, they have a good team now. I don't understand what they're looking for.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I don't understand what they're looking for, but I'm pretty sure I haven't watched them like every game this year, but they have a good team to me.
Yeah, there's some rumors as well that, Trae Young might demand a trade. Is that something the Hawks should maybe entertain if they can't get over the hump with him?
Yeah, only the coaches in the front office can answer that. I'm not in the locker room with those guys, so I meetings with those guys, so I don't know what their plans are. I wouldn't trade a Trae Young though.
And like you said earlier, John Collins kind of always has his name thrown around on the trade block. If they do let him go, which teams do you think Collins could help the most?
Yeah, man, he can help a bunch of teams. John Collins is a good player. So I just don't know what team that. I mean, there's a lot of teams probably can use a John Collins.
Yeah, he's an inside out big, can shoot the three ball as well. When a superstar is unhappy, what kind of distraction can that cause, especially for a young team?
Yeah, man, that can mess the locker room up. That can mess what they always talking about, building a culture in the locker room and team. That, I mean, the young guys look at that and, it just brings a negative in the locker room. You just don't want that.
And I wanted to move on to another one of your former teams. You had some of your best statistical seasons in Sacramento. The Kings are suddenly relevant again. What do you think of the job that Monty McNair has done to turn the franchise around?
I thought he's always trying to move in the right direction, but I think the biggest direction that they made is not only getting Sabonis and already having Fox, but Mike Brown has been almost excellent for what that team needed, some kind of direction coaching. So I think Mike Brown was more of a big pickup as far as coaching than, anything that they've done. DeAndre Fox has been unbelievable. Sabonis has been great. So the young guy coming along. I mean, they if they keep going in that right direction and whatever pieces they think they need to get over, beating, it's tough. You're talking about beating Golden State and all those teams, but they at least moving in the right direction.
Yeah, they look like they're finally gonna break that long playoff drought. Domantas Sabonis, like you said, he's been a kind of a perfect fit alongside De'Aaron Fox. When you're playing with a big man that can pass like Sabonis can, what does that bring to your offense?
Yeah, that's just like with Joker in Denver. I mean, Sabonis, he plays hard every night, man, and you can tell that he liked playing basketball. And he liked playing with those guys he's with because over the years, I've never seen him smile so much, having so much fun playing in Sacramento.
And then earlier this season, Kevin Huerter, who recently joined the Kings, he said that players don't get the same types of calls in Sacramento as they do in other cities. Is that something that you felt was the case when you played with the Kings?
Absolutely. I mean, it's funny. I know they talk about these superstar calls, but it's funny that teams like that don't get calls like other teams, superstars.
Yeah, absolutely. And same goes for, De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis probably not get into the free throw line maybe as much as stars in other places. Let's move on to the Minnesota Timberwolves. They obviously made a big splash in the offseason trading for Rudy Gobert. Can the combination of Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns work in Minnesota?
That's a good question. My Anthony Edwards is coming along superstar for me. Townsend has been, he's been consistent his whole career. I just want to see all of them work together with Rudy Gobert standing in the lane, because a lot of the teams like the lane open so they can drive down and drive to the basket like, Anthony Edwards. You want to see how he worked with Rudy standing in the lane, because he likes to, put it on the floor and go to the basket. So, and then Rudy, as to say that, Rudy, he covered for all those guys as far as defense. So I don't understand why they're not winning with the team they have. They have a lot of good pieces. They gave up a lot to get Rudy. I wouldn't have did that, but hopefully the young team come around because I like them. They play hard.
Yeah, like you said, Anthony Edwards too he's on his way to becoming a superstar. Him and D'Angelo Russell seem to be developing some chemistry in the backcourt. Last month they finished with a plus 7.6 net rating together. Should the Wolves keep D'Angelo Russell at the trade deadline?
Yeah, I don't understand why they're trying to trade him. He's been like playing point guard for them, which he need with all those guys there. So I don't know what they're looking for. And a guy, maybe they're looking just a spot up guy, but he hit. I don't understand why they're trying to trade him. Unless they're just trying to load money or get draft picks and reach it. But if you trade for Rudy Gobert, you're trying to win now.
Yeah, and obviously, like you said, I don't know who they're going to bring in that's kind of a better fit. He does knock it down from three. Can the Wolves compete for an NBA title as they're currently constructed?
Well, they should. After all they're giving up, you should think they're right there. I don't know why. I look at the team like that, and then some nights and they go, why is this team not winning? They're losing to Houston right now. You don't supposed to be losing to Houston. And then you look at them play a top team like Memphis, and they win. So you just don't know. Injuries now have killed their chemistry a lot this year, though.
Yeah, they've been playing, I think, without Cat for a few weeks now. Moving on to another one of your former teams, the Orlando Magic. What are your thoughts on how number one pick Paolo Banchero has played as a rookie?
He's been unbelievable. I mean, the guy like he already been in the league, and it's amazing that the maturity. I guess that's what college do to you. Some of these guys, they play with so much fundamentals when they come out of college that the NBA game become a little easier for them, and it's more wide open. So, and this guy, he could easily average more points than that, but you can tell he's a team basketball player. You love watching him play. He's not a hot dog, So I like guys like that make other teammates better. I watched him in college because he was in ACC, and he does the same thing. It's like he was that guy that in college you go, why did he get the first round pick? Now you see.
Yeah, he looks like a grown man out there at times. Definitely doesn't play like a rookie. Orlando has been one of the pleasant surprises in the NBA this season. How do you think Banchero has changed the culture for the Magic?
Oh, a whole lot, because they see how he play, and he's going to bring more spotlight on them, and those other guys are going to have to play well. They had a lot of injuries over the years, but they kind of getting them back, and that's why they surprisingly beating a lot of people. But young teams like that, man, you can tell they look. Some of them could be playing for positions because they're so young. All of them can't stay there, so that could be part of the reason why that they're playing so well.
Yeah, they're obviously they play hard every night, and Banchero's become the leading candidate for Rookie of the Year. Do you have him winning the award?
Oh, it's hands down. I don't know who else name you could put in there. The guy's played unbelievable all year. To average that, what he's averaging as a rookie, I mean, you're talking about LeBron numbers. Some other, like maybe Carmelo averaged them many
20
again. Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely up there with some all-time greats in terms of, his production as a rookie. I wanted to do some quick questions about the NBA and the dunk contest coming up. Who do you think is going to win the NBA championship?
Man, a healthy Steph Curry is hard to beat. I mean, you would like to see Joker because of the way he plays, man, and Murray. But man, Giannis he plays so hard every night. So you just love watching him play. And you get Philly with the team they have. That's pretty hard team to beat also. But the Lakers healthy, they wouldn't be bad. I don't think they can win a championship with that crew they got now, but it's tough to count them out when they got Anthony Davis. But it's hard to say which team you would say that will win it, but it's hard to put Boston has been playing good all year. That coach, I don't know why they haven't gave him a new deal the way he's coaching that team. I mean, Boston gonna be hard to beat, but I think Milwaukee, the way Giannis plays, he just don't jack threes, and he get those 2 points. He plays defense. That's why his team is always in the game.
And so if you got maybe the Bucks Warriors in the finals, who is going to win the NBA MVP when the season is over?
Oh man, I was heavy on Tatum earlier, but looked like Joker and got back on top of everybody, and then I had Luka. And so man, it's just hard to say right now. I think it's gonna come down to who team wins.
Yeah, I think it's been a closer race this year than maybe in years past. I'm pretty certain we're going to probably see Joker and Luka up there at the end of the year, like you said. All-Star game is coming up. Who was the biggest NBA All-Star snub?
Oh man, Siakam in Toronto and DeAndre Fox. Those two was two big snubs. Now Brunson should have been. Brunson still may be able to get in with all the injuries, but those three that I can think off the top of my head was the bad snobs.
Yeah, I think Brunson is really balling out right now. I think maybe took that snub a little personally. Who's your pick to win the 2023 NBA dunk contest?
I don't know who's in it. I don't watch it that much, but I haven't. Give me some names. I'll see if I know who they are.
This year they have a G Leaguer participating. I think it's Mac McClung is going to be in it, and then Kenyon Martin Jr. from the Rockets is going to be participating, and I believe Shaedon Sharp maybe.
Oh yeah. The Portland. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Junior.
Yeah, I mean his dad had
hopefully, I know these young guys, man, they probably have some crazy stuff that we only dream about dunking. So he seems like one of those guys that dunk in the game a lot, so he might be very creative in the dunk contest.
Yeah, he has a reputation for blocking shots too of guys that are much bigger than him.
Just like his dad, huh?
Just like his dad, you got it. Wanted to move on to NC State, where you played your college ball. They're making a run in the ACC right now and projected to make the NCAA tournament. How far do you think the Wolfpack can go in the big dance?
Man, for the injuries they had, I'm surprised. But coach been there and know what kind of players he want. You always notice about he always get players that plays in his system. So the games they be winning, you're like, man, they sticking together, they hanging in there, and that's what good teams do. Even teams that play them hard and fight to the end, like the other day with Georgia Tech. But Burns has been unbelievable. I just don't understand. He barely get out the floor and he just scoring at will. But I think they just did a great coaching job, man, for a guy that have that much pressure on him playing in the ACC. Nobody counted them to win games. They've been winning games, like consistently winning games, and that's a sign of a good team. So hopefully we go far in the tournament. Mostly veteran teams go far in the tournament. So if we get some of the guys back that's hurt, big man, that we make a good run.
You think maybe you guys can make the second weekend, the Sweet 16?
I don't see why not. The team is playing really good. I mean, they're playing together too. You can tell that it's not one guy out there just trying to get his stats. And you like a team like that because they play team defense too. You just don't score on them easily.
So the Wolfpack actually are going to play number 6 Virginia coming up. They're going to be 5.5-point underdogs. Do you think they can pull off the upset?
Yeah, I'm gonna look that far down the schedule. This next game, is it in Virginia?
I believe so. I think it's coming up. I think it's tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, Virginia's a good team, man. Well, you got to have it together when you go up there because that coach teaches so much half-court defense that it's just tough. It's not going to be no shootout when you play Virginia, so you can't just be turning the ball over and all that stuff because Virginia plays so fundamental basketball that you got to be really good to beat them especially in their place.
So NC State guard. Oh, sorry about that. Terquavion Smith has emerged as one of the top guards in college basketball, and he's widely considered an NBA first-round pick. What are teams getting if they draft the NC State guard?
Well, I mean, he got NBA talent. I mean, Derek Wittenberg's there, and I always talk to him, and he's always talking about this kid. He's ready and all that. So, hopefully, he had a good showing in the off season and make that decision if he's going to go pro. I mean, he's got the pro game. I mean, anytime you get a guy, especially if they think he's not ready, you got the G League to get guys ready in a year or two.
So you played in the ACC during the conference's glory years and competed against some stacked teams. What was it like competing against Michael Jordan in college?
Yeah, man, it was my years at NC State. It was very stacked.
Yeah, I checked out some of the rosters and my mind was blown.
Can't look at one team and go, man, this team here all got NBA first round lottery picks on them. Every game was tough. So when, you play teams like that, you just want to play your best because, Maryland had the super team with Lynn Bias and them, and, Michael and them was in North Carolina, Price and them, and Sally and them, and Georgia Tech, Muggsy and them, and Wake Forest. I mean, you talking about every night was a battle with Johnny Dawkins and them at Duke.
It was. I saw even, I think, like Rick Carlisle was at Virginia at the time.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was crazy, but that's what you live for, to play against those guys.
So back then, as an opponent, was there ever a moment where you knew Michael Jordan was going to be Michael Jordan?
Yeah, they say the only person that held Michael Jordan down was Dean Smith. Once he got in the NBA, he just blew up. But we knew how good he was. Every guy around the conference was talking about how good he was. He probably would have never played college if it was like today. Some of the guys should stay in college, go to college, but he would have never probably played college if it was like today. I mean, everybody knew he was the best player in the country. So he just tried to go out and not get embarrassed.
Yeah, of course. And I think, he had won the national title already by the time you went to NC State.
Yes.
So I want to talk to you a little bit more about the dunk contest, because it seems like, the glory years of the dunk contest have kind of gone by the wayside, and not nearly as many stars are participating in the contest. How can the NBA incentivize the best dunkers to compete on All-Star Weekend?
I don't know. When I first used to watch it, all the best players in the whole NBA used to compete in it. I don't know, they probably had just more pride and wanted to compete, wanted to make the NBA better. Now the guys get paid so much money, they probably don't care about no dunk contest. Probably don't want to lose. That's what I think. But I don't watch it that much because, it's getting a little bit with the props I don't like. So, I like just the natural dunks. You do a good dunk, you other guy do a good dunk. Some of the props been very funny though.
Yeah, I'm not too crazy about the props either, but like you said, I think back in the day, you used to just kind of have a nice little dunk off and people show their best stuff. That's kind of how it blew up to be as big as it was. The NBA is allowing a G Leaguer to compete in the dunk contest this year. Do you think the NBA should open up the dunk contest to contestants from outside the league?
No. it's the NBA dunk contest. I don't find if you're not in the NBA or G League, I just don't think you belong in the dunk contest.
Absolutely. And who are the best dunk contest dunkers ever?
Oh, Garden. They never won.
I know that's another one that maybe why people don't want to compete as much.
I got all 50s and then win. And he did the best dunk ever.
He did, yeah. He did do
Yeah. I mean, Dominique is the best dunk I ever seen. And do, most powerful dunks, but more creative and dunk like that. Garden, man, you'd never see a guy do that dunk. He did behind his legs, something he did.
Yeah, when he jumped over the mascot, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So you were a 4th round pick in the in the 1985 draft, and you ended up carving out a 12-year NBA career. Now, obviously, the draft's only 2 rounds. I wanted to know if you could talk a little bit about the evolution of the G League and how it's become another avenue for players to get to the NBA.
Yeah, when I came out, I don't know how many rounds was it, maybe 8. It's been so long ago, I don't remember, but I got drafted in the 4th round. And now I like it the 2 rounds because most teams get what they want in 2 rounds. And then guys that don't get drafted can go where they think they can make it and go to free agency. So, and then they have the G League, so you can have 2-way players in the G League, which has been great for us because anytime a guy that was supposed to go 1st, 2nd round, he can sign a 2-way deal with an NBA team, and he don't have to play that year. He can play in the G League and hone his skills and then go back and forth. So the G League revolution, the NBA is been great. It's getting bigger and bigger because there's a lot of guys now that used to go overseas. Now they can just go to the G League and the NBA teams can see them every night and they can get picked up. So I think if the G League, I know the G League is working because, we'd had a lot of guys come through the Texas Legends to go in the NBA. We had a lot of guys that, stayed down there, honed their skills and went overseas. So I think it's working. I think they should keep it. A lot of teams are using it the best, like Houston, San Antonio, all these teams are using their D League players. That's pretty good. G League.
Yeah, another thing about the G League is like top high school players are now considering the G League over college. Scoot Henderson, I think, was the person that kind of broke ground on that. Right. What do you think about, players going to the G League instead of going to the NCAA?
Well, I like players to go to college, because they learn fundamentals. But if you that don't want to go to college, I mean, a young guy like that going to the G League, he's still in the States around his family and a supporting cast to try to make that change to the playing with grown men and traveling and things like that, than going and staying in a hotel in a foreign country. I think it's great that the G League is open to money, so those guys that don't want to go to college can come play in the G League, and they get to hone their skills. You got coaches, assistant coaches, and interns that help those guys out with working out and making adjustments to grown man life.
Yeah, and obviously, they not only do they get to earn a little bit of money while they're playing, they get to hone their skills and be in front of NBA scouts, like you said, every night playing against grown men and either former NBA players or former college stars as well.
Right.
The Texas Legends, like you said, have already sent a few players to the NBA this season, and McKinley Wright and Jaden Hardy. What do they bring to the Mavericks? Yeah,
I think Hardy, he's one of those players that play like Dinwiddie or, he just a bucket waiting to happen, as we say, because he can score with the best of them. And I think that's what helped him so much, was getting that confidence, staying in shape in the G League with us, with the Legends. You see when he get in games, he had so much confidence, which is, you know, that's good. He had confidence that he can score on anybody or play in the NBA. That's half the battle. So the way he works out and works on his game, you know that one day that he's going to catch on with a team.
Yeah, I believe he was another player that kind of went to the G League out of high school, then went to the league. So he's another testament of how successful the G League can be.
Right.
Wanted to get a quick few more answers here before I let you go. Who are the fastest players in the NBA today?
Oh man, that's a good question. What list you got?
Well, list I got, I mean, I got Ja Morant up there
Yeah.
for sure. Who else we're gonna have up there? Not sure about pure speed, but I think in terms of quickness, you know, probably got to have guys like Kyrie up there,
Mhm.
can shake anybody out of their shoes probably at any given moment. Who else is really fast end to end?
Donovan Mitchell would be pretty.
He's another one, absolutely. Guy that
Morant.
have a ton of speed.
Yeah.
Reason I'm asking you actually is because I saw not only were you one of the fastest players of your time, but you dropped Isaiah Thomas once upon a time. I watched a clip of you dropping Isaiah Thomas on a drive early in your career.
Yeah, that's what I was, you know, way I played all my careers up and down. So, you know, you try to just, you know, big basketball. That's just how I played back in the day. I don't know if there's any guys that play like that now. There's no smaller guys in the league now. So it's mostly just jump shots and pick and rolls and and you know, high flying because they're so athletic. But I don't know. Morant, Kyrie, Steph, Donovan, those guys push the ball up and down the floor pretty good.
And who are the best dunking guards ever?
Talking about in the NBA or ever?
In the NBA, yeah, in the NBA.
I don't know the position of these guys now. Every time I think it's a point guard, he's a shooting guard. But Donovan Mitchell dunks on a lot of people. Morant, he's made a highlight film that it takes some guys 10 years to get in
Yeah.
1 year. So you love watching him play. But that's you know, Morant and Donovan. But I watch Lillard a lot. I like Damian Lillard a lot, so I watch Portland. I know they come on late for us, but I still been watching when I can.
Yeah, he's obviously, when he was younger, he was throwing down too quite a bit. Now, obviously, he's known for his long distance shooting. Who are the top 5 NC State players of all time?
Oh man, they probably David Thompson #1 all by himself, and man, that's a good question. I never thought of who the top 5 were because you had Bertelson and Town, Marty Town, and a team that won it in '74. Then Connie Hawkins was unbelievable when he played. I know I'm leaving out somebody right now, but I mean, if you're gonna go with the backcourt with Sydney and Wittenberg was great. And then Corciani came along, him with a great point guard there to play all those years. I can't think of a man jump shooter, but played with him. But I mean, that's a lot of guys. It's tough to pick top 5, but David Thompson by himself. Chuck Nevitt was, you know, there are a lot of years. Let's see. My year when I was a senior, Lorenzo Charles was pretty good on our team, God rest his soul. Chris Washburn should have been the best player to ever come through there. Most highly recruited player. I'm leaving out somebody. I can't even think of them right now, but but Thompson is the best player. He might have been one of the best college players ever.
And there was one question I think probably everybody wants to know from you. Can you still dunk?
Oh, I never play basketball. I'm around it every day too with the Texas Legends. But I think last time I played basketball, not man, it had to be like 2004 or 3 or something like that there. Only time when I get out there and shoot free throws, the jump shots with the kids when I go to camps. I never play. I don't want to get hurt and couldn't play golf.